So the Akaash Singh situation really just seems never ending at this point.
It just keeps getting worse for our boy Akaash, man. And I know, like, I can feel
it seems as though the Akaash Singh saga is destined to continue forever at this point.
So comedian Akaash Singh is still unfortunately the butt of everyone's jokes on the internet. Now, I have nothing to gain from this man's downfall, but I will say when you see man fall, don't laugh, learn. And if you're gonna laugh, at least learn the lesson from it. First lesson I think we can learn is from this video here is him and the crew, the Flagrant Podcast, discussing a situation with Will Smith. Now, of course, this is after the Oscars incident, after the Red Table Talk. They're reacting to a video of Jada Pinkett. You all may have seen the video of her recording Will, and he's not really in the mood, and he's saying that social media is his bread and butter. Let's take a look at that, and then we're going to come back and discuss Akash's situation and how it's kind of ironic considering the situation he's in now.
Here's my question about that video in particular.
Yeah.
Everybody's pointing at that video. To me, that's the only time I've ever seen him come close to standing up for himself. Where he, you know, the line I liked, I'm standing in my house. He didn't say our house.
Yeah.
He said, I'm standing in my house.
Yeah.
He said, don't film me. So, like, as much as I don't like her, that video, people are like, he seems so broken. To me, it's like, that's the, if you think he's broken there, what about when he's sitting with her at the fucking red table, talking about her affair and acting like, oh, yeah, no, this is cool. I'm cool with this.
Once
That's
again,
when I thought
the
he was
irony,
broken.
right?
I was like,
irony.
that's fucking wild that you have to sit there and justify her affair on her TV show that you pay for in your house.
So this one, you thought he was alpha?
I didn't think he was alpha, but I thought for him, relatively speaking, yes. Yes.
That's what you would have done in a situation?
If I'm a guy who will slap
Man,
another
was that
guy
foreshadowing
by
by Andrew
She
Schultz?
doesn't like it. That's alpha, relatively speaking.
I see what you're saying. You're judging him on like a Will scale.
Yes, on a Will scale, that's as alpha as we've seen Will with Jada ever. You know what bothered me more than all this is she made an appearance publicly without him. She went to Shonda Rhimes opened like an arts center or something like that, and then she made a public appearance without him. It's like she thinks she's famous without him.
I think she really believes.
Once again, respectfully, this is exactly what your wife is doing. And even we all know that Jada isn't as famous as Will Smith, but she's way more famous than your wife, Akaash. And now your wife has a whole podcast out here. So kind of ironic.
She would have still been famous. I think she never married Will.
I think a little part of her.
You're out of your fucking mind.
She wouldn't have been as famous, but she would still be famous.
Name 3 Jada Pinkett Smith movies before Will.
Set It Off, she was in Menace to Society, and Jason's Lyric. Yeah, those are the 3 that I can name.
Set It Off. You're gonna know Set It Off. What else? You seen Woo? You seen fucking Woo?
I did see it.
Wasn't she in Matrix?
Now, I actually think Woo was
Will.
while she was with Will.
I'm telling you.
Will turned that shit down, low key.
He did. He did. And then he said, hey, Jada, take my scraps. Fucking the audacity of this girl. She has done nothing publicly to support him since he slapped somebody.
Once again, the irony, because a lot of people would say his wife isn't really doing much to support him, but make him look kind of weak. I'm not saying that, but that's what the streets are saying.
To slap. You could say, I don't support what he did, but that's a good man. That's my husband. I love him. He was misguided. She did. Hey, it's healing season. And then leaks shit to sources like, I don't need protecting.
Yeah, I think she said something like, oh, like he messed things up or some shit. I saw that randomly on Twitter.
Yeah, apparently she won't let him talk about it until Red Table Talk. Your show? The show that he paid for you to come shit on him every week?
Yeah, but then he makes money
in his house.
Once again, the irony, right?
You think Will can't make money elsewhere? You think Will needs money?
Yeah, I don't know if Will needs.
Is he Lil Bow Wow? Guy needs fucking money.
I still don't understand how Lil Bow Wow caught it straight. I don't understand it.
What's wrong with you?
Bow Wow just be minding his business. So we got to remember the same thing that makes us laugh makes us cry, right? They were on there, and this wasn't the only video. I've seen some other ones, but I wanted to point out that one in particular. They're on there making fun of Will, making fun of the situation, saying he's not alpha and all of that. Then the irony, not even a few years later, this situation is happening with Akaash, right? Once again, if you are up on your high horse or think you can make fun of people or it can't happen to you, the universe will bring you back down, will humble you really quick. I've seen it too many times. I've actually dealt with not this exact situation, but I've been humbled as well when I get too big-headed. So you got to remain humble. Understand the same thing that make you laugh will indeed make you cry. Akaash, man, come on. I mean, now, I'm not saying you want sympathy, but now I hope you can relate to Will Smith, right? The second lesson I want to pull from this, it actually actually comes from Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. But before I get into that, I'm gonna play this video.
Yeah.
But do you feel like, how do I say this? I don't want to say it's like, is it on site or are you evolved at this point?
There's certain people that it's like, I don't know if it's on a site or what, but it's like, I think God will give you yours, and you know,
Sure.
that's
You're
kind of what
evolved.
Now, is this God kind of giving you yours? Because once again, you came at Will Smith. Now, I know he's probably talking about betrayal in a sense, but if we're talking about making fun of their downfall, is this God giving you yours? Just curious. Once again, I'm not trying to bash this man, but just curious.
I kind of try to remember that, but there's a side of me that's like, maybe it's a short guy thing, but I really identify with like Kendrick Lamar, where it's like, if we want beef, I'll destroy everything. I'll burn everything down. There's a little part of me that's pre-therapy.
No, we don't want
that's
that.
like,
He said he agreed with Kendrick, but Kendrick also said, don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman as law. And that was actually referring to his podcast.
that's like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about whatever. You came
Right.
at my wife. Let's just burn it all down.
I get it. How did she feel about everything?
She was, I mean, look, it affected her for
Of
sure, but
course.
she said, this is where I don't like, I wish people knew, and I said this to her before she started doing social media. She's the most like multi-dimensional person I know, where she pops off, says crazy, says disrespectful, but also is so spiritual, so grounded, and so
Yeah.
like so sweet, and so like she has so many facets to her. She said on like the first week this was happening, she goes, you know what, baby? God knows what's true. We know what's true.
That's right.
What else matters? Who cares what anybody thinks? And I was like,
There is a quote from Batman Begins. It's not who we are underneath, but it's what we do that defines us. And I truly do believe that was one of the best quotes of the whole Dark Knight trilogy. One of them. Of course, it's some other ones, but that one truly stood out to me. It's not who you are underneath. It's what you're doing out here in the public that defines you. So, the other lesson comes from Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist, and I'm paraphrasing, but love will never keep a man from achieving or reaching his personal legend. So I know Akaash Singh is saying she has a right to be out and to talk or whatever, have a podcast or whatever the case may be, but think about what you want. Now, he did say all he want to do is be the best stand-up comedian that he could possibly be, but let's be honest. He gained a lot of fame, notoriety from being on the Flagrant podcast. And now, after all of this, now, I'm not going to just blame his wife, because in some part it's his fault. Because, once again, it's just the irony of him talking about Will Smith, and now after his wife coming out saying stuff probably almost as bad as what Jada was saying, right? But love will never keep someone from achieving their personal legend. And I think in this case, of course, it's sure freedom. You want her to have her own podcast, but don't ever do anything that's going to tarnish your name, especially when you're a comedian. A lot of people are the butt of your jokes, and now you're the butt of a lot of people's jokes. So I will close it out by saying this. I hope that Akaash can find his happiness. Some people say he don't look happy from some recent videos that he's been on, saying he's looking drained, maybe been indulging in too much alcohol or food or whatever the case may be. But I do hope people take their foot off his neck, and I don't know. I wonder if he's humbled himself and he's leveled with Will Smith and thinking like, man, I understand it now. Spare no effort. If you like what you just heard, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, SNE 2.0. SNE stands for Spare No Effort. All we're trying to do is help people become the best version of themselves. So please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember, spare no effort.